Hello and welcome to Fat Loss 201. My name is Coach Kyra and I am your nutrition and exercise expert for today. If you like what you see on this channel, please feel free to like and subscribe or follow me over on Instagram where you can get more of this content every single day. Let's dive in. Fat Loss 201, how to change your body through body recomposition. Let's talk about this guide. What are we going to cover today? First is a recap of Fat Loss 101. Second is a deep dive into what a body recomposition actually is. We'll talk about who a body recomposition is for, how to make it go well, what pitfalls to look out for, and ultimately how to make sure that you get the thing done. Let's start with Fat Loss 101. Here's the thing. We have all been fooled into believing that we need a special diet or some type of fad in order to lose weight. Raise your hand if you've tried keto or Weight Watchers or Atkins or paleo or low carb or low fat. You can run down the list of diets, okay? That is a myth. All you need in order to lose weight is a calorie deficit. And I say this all the time because it's true. If you eat a Twinkie diet and you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. It does not matter the composition of your food. So we'll dive into that today. Let's also talk about fat loss versus weight loss, which is something we covered in Fat Loss 101. Weight loss is the means of losing weight no matter where it comes from. Okay, so if you step on the scale right now and say, for example, you step on the scale and you're 200 pounds. If you drink some water, you'll be 200 and perhaps 2 pounds. So did you gain 2 pounds or do you just have water in your system? The same thing is true for weight loss. When you lose weight instead of losing body fat, it is very difficult to determine where that lost weight has come from. That's why we want to strategically focus on losing fat instead of losing weight. And we're going to focus on losing fat through a body recomposition. Let's also talk about sustainability. Okay. At Fat Loss 101, we learned that there are plenty of ways to screw up a fat loss attempt. We learned that if we go too hard, we go too fast, right? If we're in too deep of a calorie deficit, if we're doing too much cardio, these are all ways to ruin our fat loss attempt. We want to ensure that the fat that we lose is able to stay off forever. And that's why a sustainable plan is important for keeping your results. Let's talk about the goal of a body recomposition. That's me, y'all. My back look good. Let's talk about the goal of a body recomposition. We simply want to change what your body is made of. As you can see in this image, on the left side of the image, that's when I started my journey. And you can see, based on that image, that my body is mostly body fat. If I do have some muscle, it's not a lot, and it's not enough to justify losing weight because of the amount of muscle that I have on my frame. On the right side, you will see that I dedicated some time to building some muscle. You can see a change in shape in my body, but most importantly, my body is now a fat burning machine because of the amount of muscle that I now have. Let's talk about why we want muscle on our frame instead of fat. We want to strategically target fat by building lean muscle, okay? Lean muscle burns twice as many calories per day as fat. So say, for example, the example of me on the left was burning about 2,000 calories a day just to be alive. The version of me on the right today currently burns 2,900 calories a day. That is my caloric maintenance level, okay? That's why we want to have muscle, because it burns more fat, which means that I can still eat the same amount of food that this woman ate and be losing weight because I'm now in a calorie deficit because my body requires more calories to be alive, okay? We want to preserve lean muscle mass because as we continue to age, we want to ensure that we can age healthfully, we can age gracefully, and we can preserve as much strength as possible as we get older. We want to avoid dis-ease and avoid diseases, especially those that are caused by lifestyle imperfections. For example, heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and certain types of cancers are all avoided by a healthy lifestyle. Okay, we want that lifestyle because we want to be healthy in the long term. Then we also want to focus on muscle building for weight loss because of our metabolisms. Like I mentioned, it is so incredible to see a body change visually, but also to watch a body change in terms of it becoming a calorie burning machine. And that's what we're looking for when we go into a body recomposition. So let me tell you about how we're going to get that done. Okay, before we do that, let's talk about who this works for. Who does a body recomposition actually serve? First and foremost, a body recomposition is for true newbie beginners, people who have not dieted and people who have not trained in a very, 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 very long time. Consider yourself a newbie if you're not sure what the name of the latest diet app is, right? Like, consider yourself a newbie if you have not stepped foot in the gym or if you have not trained, especially if you've never done those two things. This will work for you. Consider yourself capable of succeeding at a body recomposition if you're untrained or if you're overweight. So, for example, people who have not dieted or trained recently, maybe in the past year or more than that, you would be untrained. Or if you're significantly overweight, consider yourself a great candidate for a body recomposition. If you are a ghost, now this is a term I'm making up, but if you are a ghost, someone who has tried dieting, who has tried training and decided for whatever reason it wasn't for you and you've been away for some time, or maybe you've been inconsistent, right? Maybe you've been a seesaw when it comes to your body transformation goals. I consider you a ghost. Body recomposition could absolutely work for you. And then there's some other groups, steroid users, quick fix chasers, and then some intermediates that might be struggling could also potentially benefit from a body recomposition. Best practices. Here are the things that are absolutely necessary if you're trying to change your body. No matter who you are, what background you have, how old you are, these things are mandatory, okay? Write this down. First and foremost, you must be in a calorie deficit. Must. It is not optional. You don't have the choice to track or not. If you want to lose weight, you will be tracking food and you will be eating in a calorie deficit. Point blank, period. The second piece that is mandatory, a must for changing your body, is having an appropriate amount of protein. If you are not eating 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight, or 1 gram of protein per pound of your lean body mass, you are doing yourself a disservice if you're trying to change your body. If you're not eating enough protein, what you're doing is putting yourself into a calorie deficit, going into the gym, resistance training, and breaking down muscle. You're writing with your right hand and erasing it with your left if you are not getting enough protein. You need calories, you need protein, and then finally, that resistance training. And that resistance training must be difficult. It must be challenging, and it must also be progressive. And we'll talk about that in just a second. These are the 3 things you need for successful body recomposition. Let's talk about the pitfalls, the things that would be really dangerous and harmful if these things actually happen. As I said on the last slide, if you are neglecting your protein intake, prepare to fail, okay? Additionally, if you're not tracking your food or you have some items of untracked food, for example, I'm just going to have a spoonful of this peanut butter, or I just take a sip of this wine, or on the weekends you don't track at all, prepare to fail. You need to have control and you need to have knowledge and accountability for your protein intake and for your calories. Additionally, a lack of a progressive resistance training program. If you are in the gym and you're doing this for 75 reps and you're not breaking a sweat and you're not working hard and you're not working your muscles to failure, you are setting yourself up to fail, okay? A progressive resistance training program is one that increasingly asks more of your muscles in each cycle. This is something that you should probably hire a coach to help you with. Fad diets, throw them away. Get rid of keto, delete Weight Watchers, delete Noom off of your phone. Get rid of the fad diets. Keto, paleo, Weight Watchers, Optavia, fasting, green smoothies, skinny teas, diuretics, coffee pills, the list goes on. You have too much to lose at this point. If you're seeing this video, you have too much to lose to go and try to do a fad diet or one of these kind of special diets without making sure that you're in a sustainable calorie deficit and without tracking your protein. You are ruining your progress, okay? Then excessive cardio. Excessive cardio will be the demise of this journey. If you are trying to change what your body is made of, you don't need excessive cardio, if any. That picture that I showed you a few slides ago, I was not doing any cardio. It is very possible to change your body without endless hours of cardio on the Stairmaster, okay? Don't let excessive cardio drop your metabolism and therefore ruin the progress that you're making. So how do you get it done? Okay, here's something that you need to understand. Macronutrients. You need protein, carbohydrates, and fat. We're not cutting out a single category. We're eating a balanced diet, a 40-30-30 split. You're having balance when it comes to your eating, okay? Let's talk about protein. Protein is what helps you build muscle. Protein is what helps all other tissues function and form. Without protein, you're losing hair, okay? Let's just be real about it. Carbohydrates. Carbs are your body's preferred energy source. That means that your body will take carbs, suck them up, and then use them immediately. Your body loves carbs and your body needs them. Then your fats. Your fats are important for brain and hormonal function. We're going to eat fat, we're going to eat carbs, and we're going to have protein. Your body needs all three of these things, and none of them are off limits. Additionally, if you want to get this done, you need to ensure that your sleep is on track, okay? This is another mandatory feature to get this done. Sleep is when recovery happens from your resistance training. If you are not sleeping, if you are not getting between 6 to 9 hours of sleep every single night, you are leaving your goals on the table, okay? Put the phone down, turn the TV off, put on some Bob Ross painting videos. Do whatever you need to do to ensure a nice, hot, long, steamy, candlelit shower, whatever it is you need to do to ensure that you can get that sleep every night. Then your supplements, okay? Supplements are additional resources to support your general health in the event that you're deficient in one of those macronutrients or micronutrients. We'll talk about micronutrients in another video. If you are deficient in protein, this is where a protein shake or a protein bar comes into play. But you are trying as best as you possibly can to get as much protein from your diet, from what you consume on a daily basis. You're trying to get protein from there before you need to supplement, okay? You want your lifestyle first and your supplements second. So here are your priorities for body recomposition. A calorie deficit, a moderate one, somewhere around 200 to 300 calories max. You want enough protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight is a great place to start. You need enough carbs and fats. If you're eating about 30% protein, you want to be eating about 40% carbs and about 30% fats from your daily caloric intake. Then you want to be watching the amount of calories that come from processed foods and added sugars. Those are sneaky calories. They especially come in your liquid calories and drinks. Be watching how much of that you consume, okay? Your daily eating system should contain real food, high in protein, high in dietary fiber, and low in added sugar 70 to 80% of the time. This is the baseline. Here's what you'll need no matter what. Here is what you will need to dedicate yourself to no matter what. It's consistency. If you cannot be consistent, and I'm not talking about, oh, I tried it for a week and it's not working. Let me break it down for you. It takes about a month to see the evidence of your resistance training anyway. If I go into the gym and I do some bicep curls today, I won't see the evidence of my bicep curls until next month. So with that understanding, you need to realize that you are not going to change your body unless you can be consistent. And I'm not talking about a week or a month or even 3 months or even 6. You need to be consistent for the rest of your life, because once you get the body, you need to keep it. Hello? Once you get the body, you are responsible for keeping it. And that's where the consistency comes into play. Don't even start if you can't be consistent. So what should you do next? You need to ask yourself a few questions. Do an internal audit about whether or not you are ready to start this. First, do you have a plan? Do I have a plan for my calories? Do I know how many calories I need? Do I know what a sustainable calorie deficit looks like for me, right? Do I know how much protein I need to be getting? Do I know where to get those protein sources from? And then finally, do I have a resistance training program that is progressively more difficult? Or do I need to go find that? Do you have a plan? Then you ask yourself, out of the factors of this plan, is this plan something that's been working for me? Am I seeing evidence of this working? And then finally, ask yourself, have you or can you be consistent with this plan? If it works and you have one, ask yourself if you can be consistent, and then you're ready to get started again. Here's how we can continue to work together. I have a beginner's kickstart 30-day training program available for download. You can also apply for one-on-one coaching with QueenFit. You can schedule a coaching consultation or keep an eye out for that body recomposition guide. No matter what, I want you to follow me on Instagram. I love to engage with you all there. I love to answer your questions there. So certainly follow me on Instagram if you're not already, and then consider one of these three or four options as we move forward. All of those links will be down in the description below. I want to thank you for taking some time for being here with me today. I know that you got this. If you have questions, here's my email address. There's my Instagram handle. And I look forward to talking to you very, very soon.